Oops. Hi everybody, as you can see I'm still celebrating after last night's brilliant win by Rangers against Panathinaikos when we beat them 2-0 in our Champions League qualifier. And by the way, this is one of the best malts you could celebrate with. I'm going to have some later. Next time you're in Morrison's, check it out because Bunnahabhain is actually Gaelic for we are the people. So there's another reason for buying a fine malt whisky. I wish I was getting money for advertising this, but honestly, I'm not. I just love it. So anyhow, I'll put this away for now. Let's talk about last night's game. Say great victory, but it was a jammy victory. It must have been the luckiest win we've had in Europe for years, absolutely years, because at half time we could have been going in 3-0 down. That's how bad the first half was. But to go back to the start of the game, I liked Russell Martin's talk and his philosophy from what I've heard over the last few weeks. And then when you see it put into practice, when the lineup was announced last night and you're looking, you're going, oh no, Tavernier, not only playing, but it's forcing him to play a new right back at left back. So Max Aarons was stuck out at left back. Suter, instead of being a right-sided central defender, he's out in the left side of central defence to allow big Nasser Njia to come in. So there's a few changes out of position already. Dowell out in the right wing, that's the biggest change, the biggest piece of nonsense of the selection. Then you had Raskin once the game got started. He's in the left side of midfield looking like a fish out of water. So all these players playing out of position didn't augur well. And sure enough, the first half was an absolute shocker. Apart from the first 10 minutes when we were on the front foot, looked good, didn't have a proper shot at goal, right enough. But we thought if we can get a goal here when we've got them a bit of rocking, then you never know. But no, after about 10 minutes, they dominated the game, had the majority of the possession, looked good, quick passing, quick movement. Should have scored 3 times before half time, but for great saves, brilliant saves by Jack Butland. So I'm hoping that gives him a boost in confidence after last season and he can retain that kind of confidence and form because we'll need a really good goalkeeper that he is when he plays to his best. So 3 great saves. Nobody should be complaining about him, at least for the next month. So it all went wrong. We didn't seem to know what we were doing really. So much for this new philosophy and pattern of play and all this hard running and fast running and getting stuck in and knowing where everybody should be. Nothing like that was visible. The only thing I could see that stood out was Tavernier at right back was playing as a kind of central midfielder practically. He was playing maybe 15-20 yards inside from the touchline. So basically we were playing without a right back. And Dowell wasn't covering that space when we lost possession and Tavernier wasn't on that flank. I think Diamandi was supposed to be doing it at times. I saw him doing it maybe a couple of times. But that whole wing was empty because there was no right back, no right winger checking back, no right-sided midfielder. I just don't understand the manager's tactics there, what his plan is there. And presumably Aarons was supposed to be doing the same as Tavernier on the left-hand side, but he didn't really do much at all. He looked out of place totally, which he was. He's a right back. And then you had the front three of Dowell, the useless Dowell, Dud Dowell, who shouldn't have been playing another game for Rangers after we got rid of him on loan. So him, Danilo and Finlay Curtis, the left side, left winger. He's supposed to be a striker of a midfielder and he's stuck out in the left wing. So Diamandi, Rothwell and Raskin made up the midfield. So not a good lineup. I was really worried as soon as I saw that front three. And as it turned out, they gave us nothing the whole first half. Absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, they were breaking through and, as I say, could have scored 3 goals, hit the woodwork after one of the saves by Butland. So lucky to go in at half time. I'd have taken a draw at half time, no questions asked. So to come away with a 2-0 win is a minor miracle, but who's complaining? We'll never know if the sending off really changed it a lot because in the first few minutes of the second half, Butland had to make another great save, so that could have been 4 in our net but for him. So another great save, and within a couple of minutes we'd actually scored the opening goal. So Finlay Curtis, the young boy who'd done nothing in the first half, what a great shot. Well, it all came from Raskin, who did his first good bit of work in the game, ran up the left side, nice forward pass to the young guy Curtis. He took it, ran forward, cut in, and smashed a shot towards goal. It took a slight deflection. I think it was going in anyhow, but what a goal. And that probably would have turned the tide. We were looking more confident for a few minutes after that, and then even more so once the Greek guy got his second yellow card quite correctly and was sent off. So now you can see the confidence surging through the team, as it did through the crowd, because we're not 1-0 up, they're down to 10 men, and I don't think they had another chance, another decent attack the whole second half. In fact, for long periods they couldn't even get out of their own half. It was like everybody was back just trying to make sure we didn't get more than one goal. We pounded away. Raskin had two decent efforts. The goalie did good saves at. I think there was another one the goalie saved. So we were pressing them. We were making chances. We were looking much better. They were just desperately defending, obviously. And when the second goal did come, it was through the sub, Gassama, who, again, what a shot to finish, but what a move. It started away down in the right-hand corner, just outside the box. I think about 3-4 passes. It went to Diomande in the middle, he in his own half, and he fired it out to Gassama, who took the pass, ran on with it, carried the ball, cut inside, outside the box, 20 yards. What a shot. You're not going to get many better debut goals than that. So 2-0 up from what could have possibly been a 4-0 deficit is amazing. Crowd were, in seventh heaven by this time, and we were trying to get that vital third. They brought on Drossers, they brought on Igaman, Bayrami. I can't remember if he brought on. He took off Rothwell. So the good thing was Doyle was one of the ones substituted. That guy did not. Well, I was going to say he did nothing. He did two things. He had a good pass that got a round of applause. I think that was in the second half, so well done for that. And he missed a sitter with his head from about 4 yards where he put it over the bar, and it should have been in the net. And I can't believe people were actually applauding that as if it was something fantastic instead of a sitter missed. And that was his sole contribution. He didn't tackle, he didn't cover space. Any passes he made, which were few and far between, were like 5-yard passes back the way or inside. Just an absolute waste of space. I don't know why that guy got that game, and I'm hoping I won't see him again once everybody else is fit. So he was a dead loss. Danilo did nothing either, so we don't want to see him starting again. And the young guy, Curtis, he at least came on to a good, I say good 15 minutes maybe. He got man of the match, but he only played well for about 15-20 minutes. Butland was miles away the man of the match, closely followed by Rothwell. He did a really good game. He looks a player in midfield. He can tackle, he can hold the ball, he can hold people off him, he can pass long, pass short, can run with the ball. He looks a complete midfielder, so he's definitely one that's going to make us happy. But the front three, all three of them shouldn't play again, hopefully. Gassama hopefully will start next week. He'll probably start at the friendly against Middlesbrough on Saturday, so that'll give him more legs. But we've got to have the likes of Igaman playing, and maybe even Cortez. Are you trying to tell me Cortez wouldn't have been a better right winger than Dowell? Come on. So, thankfully, we won 2-0. Gives us a chance. The tie's not over. They looked a good team in the first half, although how much of that was down to our shambolic defending and system, I don't know. But we'll be fitter, hopefully. We'll have other guys who might start next week, so we should be better. But if they play like they did in the first half, it's going to be a really tough game. And, okay, we've got to lose 3-0. The way they played in that first half, that's very possible. But if we can play better, especially at midfield defence, we should be able to at least escape with a 1-0 defeat and progress into the next round. But I'm not banking on it. It's more hope. At least we've got some hope after how it ended last night. But hopefully the manager will change the personnel, maybe change the tactics, be harder to break down and be better in the counter-attack. So if we can score a goal away from home, the tie could be over. So well done again, but it was still a jammy victory.